Hey, what's up guys? So today another video, and this time I've decided to do the video a little bit more unscripted and natural, without any notes. I think that way it's more authentic. So today I'll be talking about sleep, rest, and recovery. I've mentioned this in the last video about how it improves testosterone and helps you with everything else. So in this video, I will start from my personal experience with my sleep quality. So back in the days, I used to sleep like I had this quote like, I will sleep when I'm in my grave, in translation, because I spoke that in Polish. I said that in Polish to one of my coworkers, and he's like, yeah, that's right, grind until because you're gonna sleep in your grave until forever, right? So like I was like 20 maybe, and I was like, I had that mindset of just do everything, don't care about your sleep, let's go and just do stuff, go party like an animal, party, play hard, party harder, or like work hard, play harder, or whatever. But I had that mindset, and I think now I'm thinking about it, I guess whatever, it worked at that time, but it definitely doesn't work now. At that time, I wasn't even on self-development. I wasn't even thinking about growing as like my muscles or confidence or anything. I just wanted to have fun. I wanted to work. I wanted to learn. At that time, I guess it's fine, whatever. But there comes a time in men's life or in anyone's life, I think, where you just understand that it's just not profitable, not beneficial for you, because what happens is, you just like wake up next day, for example, after partying until 6 in the morning or 5 in the morning, wasted, right? And then you gotta work next day like 10 in the morning. Maybe you had like 3 hours of shitty quality sleep, because obviously after so many hours of drinking all and going out and partying after work, you've been up like 20 some hours and then you sleep like 2 3 hours, hangover, waking up like feeling like shit, and you still have to go to work. Obviously that work quality will be shit. But I guess at that time I didn't care, because I was just get paid very little bit by hourly basis, right? So I used to work as a sushi helper or a sushi chef at the restaurant. I'm like, as long as the orders go out on time, kind of, I'm fine, And I was tired. I was sleeping in the back room in the kitchen. I'm like, it was horrible. And obviously it's not possible for you to have any muscle tissues, so I was super skinny, super stressed out, and just killing myself, I think, slowly, right? So from that, now some years later, now I discovered or just realized that actually it's better to sleep. The more quality, if you want to be successful, if you want to achieve something bigger than just working in the kitchen as a helper, obviously you have to think about the quality of your work. So if you work out, you can work out a shitty workout, just like half-assing through the workout, going through the motion, just lifting like 50% of your one rep max, or like super light weights, half-assing through the workout. It's not gonna give you any benefits. Your muscles will not be stimulated enough to grow. And you also have to think about, okay, so your muscles need to rest well. That's where your muscles will grow and recover. So you gotta give your body enough time and enough resources to recover. So now let's start from what is the ideal situation for recovery, so that way we have a comparison. What was the worst thing you should do, which I did, and it was horrible. Never do that. That was a big mistake and it was horrible. Now what would be the ideal situation? And I've done this ideal situation for a while too, so I can prove that it's really good. It helps you with a lot of things. So let's start from that. What is the ideal situation for you to sleep, rest, and recover? So in my case, it was okay. So I read a couple of books about how to improve your sleep quality, what is sleep, and I did a lot of research about sleeping in general and recovering. So what I've learned was there's a golden window, golden hours, or golden period at night where you can recover the most. And that window starts from 10 p.m. till 2 in the morning. That's where you can benefit the most from sleep quality. You'll have the best sleep quality during that time. So obviously most young people would just never go to sleep at like 9. You have to go to bed at around 9:30 to be like really in deep sleep at 10 o'clock until 2 in the morning. Obviously most people like me, younger people, would just be like going out instead until 4 in the morning, 3 in the morning, drinking or just partying or just whatever, working out, whatever, or working. I used to work at night shifts, graveyard shifts until 3, 4 in the morning some days, right? So back in the days. So that's bad for you, obviously, if you think about the sleep quality. And why is that? Is because we as humans, we developed sleeping at night where it's dark outside. We should not be sleeping when sun is out. So we are animals, or we are people that sleep. We should sleep at night, and we should be active and energetic and just be out, hopefully, during daytime. And we've been doing that for hundreds of generations, thousands of years. So this is natural. We're not nocturnal animals, right? We're not nocturnal, meaning we're not like bats, where they wake up at night and they just like do the most productive part of their day at night, and then they sleep at daytime in the cave. We don't do that, right? We wake up first thing when the sun comes out. Let's say sun comes out at like 6, 7 a.m. That's where you should wake up, at 7 a.m. When it depends on the region you are in LA, it's about 7 a.m. So I now usually try to wake up at 7 a.m. when sun comes out, and then I absorb the sunlight first thing in the morning, so that my body and my eyes and my skin is reacting to the sun reflection on my skin and on my mind and eyes and body. So that way it gives me a signal of like, oh, okay, it's a wake up time. It's a time where it regulates my internal clock of my body, where it goes, okay, so now we wake up at 7 in the morning because the sun is out at 7 in the morning. I know a lot of people that wake up late. A lot of my friends, they wake up because they have night shifts. They wake up at like 11 a.m. or some of them wake up at like 1 p.m. Every day, which is insane, because you'll be very not very productive. Your mindset will not be fresh, and you're just wasting a lot of productive hours and energy. So to wake up at 7 a.m., you ideally want to sleep around 8 hours. It depends on person. Some people can sleep less, some sleep more, depends on the situation. But on average, they say to sleep 8 hours, right? So 8 hours of sleep. Let's say you wake up at 7, you wanna sleep, you go to sleep at 11. But here's another thing that most people don't talk about, right? So the quality of sleep, usually people say they sleep 8 hours, but it's not sleeping 8 hours. Even if you go to sleep at 11, you wake up at 7, because you might wake up in the middle of the night 2 times, go to restroom, maybe drink a water, or maybe just woke up, someone texted you during midnight, or you just had a nightmare, you woke up for a little bit, scrolled through like your social media, or something, or someone, your spouse came to your apartment and woke you up for another 30 minutes. So you're not really sleeping those hours where you went to bed and you woke up. So usually I think it depends, but like could be around 70 to 80% of that time in the bed was actually sleeping, and the other part was kind of like winding down, kind of getting into the mood, slowly slowing your mind and resting your body. So it's about 80%. So let's say 80% of 8 hours, so then you kind of sleep what, like 6 hours, maybe 7, 6, 5 hours. So it depends on your situation, how good quality of your sleep you get actually. So 8 hours is not really 8 hours of sleep, it's more like 6 hours of sleep, of deep sleep. And also another thing you want to think about the sleep is like, okay, this is hard for me too, and I think for most young people, you want to try to avoid alcohol at all, especially after 5 p.m. Let's say you want to go to sleep at 11 p.m. For me, I try to sleep at like 10 p.m. now. So you have to. There's a research about alcohol where you don't want to have alcohol 6 hours before going to bed, because that's the half-life of the alcohol in your body. So meaning if you had alcohol at 2 p.m. and go to sleep at 8 p.m., that's where it slowly wears off the effects of alcohol, and you can kind of have like deep sleep. But obviously your sleep quality will still not be perfect, but better than like most people, where a lot of people, in me included, back in the days where I used to drink until I'm gonna pass out or until I'm gonna like just black out, or it's a bad memories, I guess, or until I just like want to go to sleep, really, until I sleep. So after work, it's bad to talk about it, but it was bad. After work, I'm super stressed out at work. It's back in the days, I don't do that anymore, but I would go home and drink beers after work just to kind of like relax my muscles and body. And this is horrible. You're pretty much fucking up your next day and next week, and your hormones, your testosterone levels, and you won't really have enough deep sleep anyway. So it's really bad idea, bad decisions, and you gotta stop that immediately, I think. What you should do instead is kind of like just relax, meditate, and try to avoid alcohol after afternoon. Just try to, ideally you just want to have no alcohol at all, because it fucks up your sleep quality completely. So what else is bad for your sleep quality? Caffeine, right? So that's another thing I've learned. So caffeine is good for you in general. If you know how to use it properly, it's great. But what happens with caffeine, unfortunately, and some people do that, it's insane to me. I just don't understand how people just drink caffeine at like 9 p.m. and then they go to sleep at 10 p.m. Like, obviously your quality of your sleep is gonna be trash. It's just stupid, in my opinion. If I wake up consistently for a couple of days in a row, let's say I wake up at 8 a.m., I have an alarm, and I'm like, I feel like shit in the morning when I wake up. Like, I don't know, I'm tired. And I do that next day too. I'm like, I'm tired again. I feel like a zombie when I wake up sometimes. Like, okay, what's happening here, right? Then I try to investigate. Why am I waking up so tired? well, I didn't rest well. Why didn't I rest well? Well, I went to sleep late. Why did I go to sleep late? Oh, because I partied with my friend until 3 in the morning, and I had only 4 hours of sleep, and I had alcohol, and then maybe I had caffeine, a lot of caffeine. So try to reduce all these things that like slows your let's say if you want to wake up early, whatever your time is, you want to wake up. I think for me ideally, or for most people ideally, would be 7 a.m. Maybe some people wake up at 5, whatever. Or like some people wake up at 11 and they're amazing. So it just depends on whatever your goal is and your dreams. For me, it's 7 a.m. or 8 a.m. And then I'm like, okay, gotta cut the caffeine, gotta cut the alcohol. Afternoon, definitely caffeine and alcohol, cut them out. What else? You wanna rest more, you wanna go to bed earlier. And this is what I've done for a month. There were a couple of days when I was consistently sleeping very bad, and I was waking up so tired, and I'm like, okay, I have to do the caffeine detox. So I've done caffeine detox where I just did not drink any caffeinated drinks or anything with caffeine for 30 days. And my quality of sleep was amazing after those 30 days, and I didn't have alcohol. And that's where, you know, when you feel like a zombie, or like you feel like have no energy when you wake up in the morning some days in a row, just do that. You know, just do 30 days of no caffeine, no alcohol, and maybe sleep more hours, because you have to catch up with all the hours you've cut short in the previous years or months or whatever you've done in your life. So when I did that, I slept like 12 hours every day for 30 days pretty much. And then, okay, at the end of this, maybe like at day 20 or whatever, 25, I was sleeping less, because I caught up with all the short times where I just slept 5 hours, 4 hours, and half slept. Like I didn't have the deep sleep. So after a while, I caught up, and then I understood after a while. I'm like, okay, I'm caught up now, and I woke up with natural energy. That's what you want to wake up with. Natural energy at 7 in the morning, when you like don't need an alarm clock. You just wake up naturally with a lot of energy. You don't need caffeine. You don't need anything. Just wake up with a lot of energy. That's what a lot of people don't have. I know, because I didn't have. And I'm like, I'm the person that takes care of my body a lot. And even I had those days when I just woke up and I didn't feel like having a lot of high energy in the morning. So I fixed it now, and this is just an advice. So maybe I'll do more videos about it in the future with more research, but this time I wanted to kind of just say kind of from my personal experience on sleep and resting and things like that, recovery. So please share my video if you've learned something, subscribe and like and comment on my video. Thank you for watching. See you next time.